Have you ever looked at yourself and felt like a stranger? Not physically, but mentally, emotionally. Like somehow you became someone you never planned to be. Maybe you used to be excited about life. You had goals, energy, ambition. You believed your future would be different.
But now you feel disconnected from that version of yourself. And the scary part, you don't even know when it happened. That's because people rarely lose themselves in one dramatic moment. They lose themselves quiet, little by little, one compromise at a time, one ignored promise at a time, one day at a time. And eventually, the person in the mirror no longer feels familiar. Let's talk about why. Think back to a younger version of yourself, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 5. What did that version of you believe? What did they want? What kind of person were they trying to become? Now, compare that person to who you are today. For many students, the difference is painful, not because they failed, but because they drifted. And drifting is dangerous because it doesn't feel dangerous. Nobody wakes up and decides, I'm going to slowly become someone I don't respect. It happens automatically when you stop paying attention to the direction of your life. Imagine a boat in the middle of the ocean. If it's off course by just 1 degree, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But after enough time, it ends up somewhere completely different. That's exactly how identity works. Small daily choices,
massive long-term outcomes. Not instantly, gradually. The problem is that most people only notice the result. They don't notice the process. They see low confidence, but not the hundreds of moments where they ignored their own standards. They see lost motivation, but not the years spent avoiding meaningful challenges. They see regret, but not the small decisions that created it. This is where because identity isn't built by what you say, it's built by what you repeatedly do. Every action sends your brain a message. Every evidence.
Skip a promise you made to yourself? Your brain notices. Avoid something difficult? Your brain notices. Give up when things get uncomfortable? Your brain notices. And slowly, your self-image begins to change. Not because someone told you who you are, because your actions did. Think about that for a second. Confidence isn't just a feeling, it's evidence. The reason some people trust themselves is because they've proven to themselves that they can be trusted. The reason others struggle with confidence is because they've spent years breaking promises to themselves. That's not a character flaw. It's a pattern, and patterns can be changed. But before they can be changed, they must be understood. Here's another reason people stop recognizing themselves. They spend too much time becoming who others expect them to be. Parents have expectations. Friends have expectations. Society has expectations. Social media has expectations. Everyone seems to have an opinion about how you should live. So you start adjusting. You change your interests. You hide your real opinions. You stop pursuing goals that genuinely matter to you. And after enough time, you forget what you actually wanted in the first place. This creates something psychologists call identity confusion, a state where you're constantly busy, but no longer connected to your deeper values. You keep moving, but you don't know why. You keep working, but you don't know what you're working toward. And eventually, itself starts feeling empty because achieving the wrong goals never feels satisfying. That's why some students feel exhausted. Even when they're making progress, they're climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. Now, here's the good news. Finding yourself again doesn't require changing your entire life overnight. It starts with honesty, real honesty. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I actually want to become? Not what gets likes. Not what impresses people, not what everyone else is doing. What matters to you? Then ask another question. What daily actions would that person take? Notice something important, not goals, actions. Because identity is built through behavior. A confident person isn't confident because they feel confident. They're confident because they consistently act like someone who can be trusted. A disciplined person isn't disciplined because they're special. They simply practice discipline more often. Identity follows behavior, not the other way around. This means you don't need to wait until you feel different. You need to start acting differently. Small actions, consistently. That's how people rebuild trust in themselves. That's how people reconnect with who they are.
And that's how people stop feeling lost. One more thing. Don't spend all your energy hating the person you've become. That version of you was trying to survive with the knowledge they had. Learn from them, but don't stay there. Because your future is not determined by who you've been. It's determined by what you choose next. You are not stuck. You are not finished. And you are definitely not too late.